Alright guys, I'm in the AutoZone parking lot here. I just pulled the crank sensor out. And it looks like it's never been replaced. I think it's the original GM crank sensor, so I'm just going to throw my spare in there instead of throwing money at it. Just put my spare in there and see if it changes anything. And then if it still misfires, then it's probably going to be the MAF sensor. Seems to be running smoother. I'm going to take it around town, test drive it before I stick it on the highway. The highway is literally right over there where that overpass is. So I'm real close to it. I got to get on that and go north for about an hour and then east. So we'll see how it does going around town. See if it pops out of gear at all. Alright, I'm going to try to limp this thing to Geneseo, which is up the highway a little bit. And I'm going to check the transfer case and make sure it's topped off because it does leak. And it seems like the leak has gotten worse, so I need to make sure that it hasn't gotten low on oil. Which is something I should probably check right now, but I don't have anything to fill it up with. I need to go up there to the tractor supply and get one of those siphon pump or those suction pump things so I can fill it if it's low. I forgot there was a tractor supply in this town. I just got a cheap siphon pump. It should work for the transmission fluid. It's thin enough. It should work, I hope, anyway. Well, that did not work. Just making a mess in the parking lot. I'm gonna have to get the other type of pump in there. The siphon pump is just too, when you're trying to pump it out of the bottle, it's just the container's too low. Alright, I'm departing tractor supply now. I got the transfer case all filled up. It took like half a quart, so not a whole lot. Well, I got her out on the highway. It's doing alright. It's not even noisy or anything, but I just got this really weird feeling that it's going to blow up at any moment. I don't know what to expect, but I'm probably going to have to rebuild this thing once I get to my final destination. Alright, well, right after I made that last video, it started making noise again. It's cutting out. It's like it's stuck between gears. It's grinding. I'm gonna try to limp this thing 9 miles to Geneseo. There's like 3 parts stores there. That way, if one place doesn't have parts, maybe I can get it from another place or something. I'm gonna have to pull this thing out and rebuild it. Alright, the truck made it to AutoZone. I just don't trust it enough to drive it 270 miles to my grandparents' house. So I'm going to try and do a rebuild here. I'm going to put a message out on the Facebook first and see if anybody's got a 208 in the area, since I've got some friends around here. That would be so much easier just directly swapping it out. But there really aren't any good junkyards around here, and the one I can think of right now, you gotta pull it yourself, pull the parts yourself, and it would take me all day probably to pull a rusty 208 out of some truck in the junkyard that's sitting on the ground. So I think it'd be a heck of a lot easier to rebuild it than do that. But if somebody has one, that would be awesome. Well, it's good to know that not only old clapped out junk breaks down. Anyway, trying to come up with a game plan right now. Not really sure what I'm gonna do. I checked all the parts stores and nobody has any parts for a 205 or 208 transfer case to rebuild it. So right now I'm still waiting to see if anybody on Facebook comes out with any messages me and has any 208 transfer cases laying around. Alright guys, I just met up with some old friends. Well, Jimmy Cruiser. Some of you might be subscribed to him on YouTube, and then Eli. He has a YouTube channel, but it's kind of inactive. Cause Race Car is called, and I'm just kind of creeping my way toward a hotel now. I think I'm gonna rent a moving truck. Actually, I already got it reserved, so I am renting a moving truck, a U-Haul truck. Well, I'm just cruising down back roads in New York here, headed to a cheap hotel in Hornell, New York. This is the part of New York that I'm from. Everybody thinks of the big city, but no, this is where I'm from. Country, cornfields, mountains. All right, guys, it is the next day. Sorry, this video is kind of wrong way. Sorry, this video is kind of rough around the edges. I don't have a cameraman, so I'm just trying to make do with what I got. But today I'm probably gonna head up to my storage unit and take a look at my stuff up there and try and figure out what I want to bring back home and what I want to keep in there for now, because I'm not going to be able to fit everything in the moving truck that I'm getting. And I might even swing up to the junkyard. There's one junkyard I know of. I might swing up there and see if they got any transfer cases, kind of as a last, ditch effort to fix the truck and drive it back. So I'll take you guys along with me as I do that. This is my kind of place, though. I like how you can just park right up to your room. It makes it a lot easier when you're working on your vehicle. This truck here has round coils. I'm gonna grab a couple of them for spares. Kind of weird though, because it's a cat eye. They usually have square coils. Somebody might have swapped the engine or something. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. Maybe it's like just a rare bird. Alright, I got a couple spare coils, and I got my MAF sensor here. I'm gonna grab some MAF sensor cleaner and throw that on, see if that fixes my bogging condition, misfire. There's one of those ugly Cadillacs. Oh, we got a hearse over here, or a limo. Nice Suburban. Well, kind of rough. Yeah, look at that and see if it's got a transfer case. A couple square bodies in here. Thing's longer than a wet week. Man, they got a lot of cars out here. Got this brown truck here. It's kind of like mine, but a lot rougher. And under it, there's a T-case sitting there. It's probably no good and the wrong one, but I'm gonna take a look at it. Maybe I can use it for parts or something. Yeah, it's got an automatic, so it would be the wrong input splines anyway. It wouldn't be a direct bolt-in, but perhaps it could be a good parts thing. I don't know. Too much work for the time I have left. Yeah, this one here, you can see it's a 32 spline automatic transmission one, but yeah, she's rough. Wonder if the insides look any good. Old Dodge truck. Ooh. Wide tires in the back. What is this? Is this a Chevette? Dodge Omni. Not really good with these little cars. Don't really know them apart. They all look the same really to me.